Genesis, chapter 31, from the Bishop's Bible.
And he heard the words of Laban's sons, saying, Jacob hath taken all that was our father's, and of our father's goods hath he gotten all his glory. And Jacob beheld the countenance of Laban, and behold, it was not toward him as it was wont to be. And the Lord said unto Jacob, Turn again into the land of thy fathers, and to thy kindred, and I will be with thee. Therefore Jacob sent, and called Rachel and Leah to the field unto his flock, and said unto them, I see your father's countenance, that it is not toward me as it was wont to be, but the God of my father hath been with me. And ye know how I have served your father to the best of my power. But your father hath deceived me, and changed my wages 10 times. But God suffered him not to hurt me. When he said, The spotted shall be thy wage, then all the sheep bare spotted. And when he said, The ringstraked shall be thy reward, then bare all the sheep ringstraked. Thus hath God taken away the increase of your father's flock, and given it to me. But in ramming time I lift up mine eyes, and saw in a dream, and behold, the rams leaped upon the sheep that were ringstraked, spotted, and parti. And the angel of God spake unto me in a dream, saying, Jacob. And I answered, Here am I. And he said, Lift up now thine eyes, and see all the rams leaping upon the sheep that are ringstraked, spotted, and parti. For I have seen all that Laban doth unto thee. I am the God of Bethel, where thou anointedst the stone set up on an end, and where thou vowedst a vow unto me. Now therefore arise, and get thee out of this country, and return unto the land where thou wast born. Then answered Rachel and Leah, and said unto him, Have we had as yet any portion or inheritance in our father's house? Doth he not count us even as strangers? For he hath sold us, and hath quite devoured also our money. Therefore all the riches which God hath taken from our father, that is ours and our children's. Now then, whatsoever God hath said unto thee, that do. Then Jacob rose up, and set his sons and wives up upon camels, and carried away all his flocks, and all his substance which he had procured, the increase of his cattle which he had gotten in Mesopotamia, for to go to Isaac his father unto the land of Canaan. But Laban was gone to shear his sheep, and Rachel had stolen her father's images. And Jacob stale away the heart of Laban the Syrian, in that he told him not that he fled. So fled he, and all that he had, and made himself ready, and passed over the river, and set his face straight toward the Mount Gilead. Upon the 3rd day after, it was told Laban that Jacob fled. Then he took his brethren with him, and followed after him 7 days' journey, and overtook him at the Mount Gilead. And God came to Laban the Syrian in a dream by night, and said unto him, Take heed that thou speak not to Jacob aught save good. And Laban overtook Jacob, and Jacob had pitched his tent in the mount. And Laban with his brethren pitched also upon the Mount Gilead. And Laban said unto Jacob, What hast thou done? For thou hast stolen away my heart, and carried away my daughters, as though they had been captive with the sword. Wherefore wentest thou away secretly unknown to me, and didst not tell me, that I might have let thee go thy way with mirth and songs, with timbrel and harp? And hast not suffered me to kiss my children and my daughters? Thou wast a fool now in so doing. for it is in my hand through God to do you hurt. But the God of your father spake unto me yesternight, saying, Take heed that thou speak not to Jacob aught save good. And now, though thou wouldst needs be gone away, because thou so longest after thy father's house, yet wherefore hast thou stolen my gods? Jacob answered and said to Laban, Because I was afraid, and thought that peradventure thou wouldst take away thy daughters from me. But with whomsoever thou findest thy gods, let him die, here before our brethren. Seek that thine is by me, and take it thee. But Jacob wist not that Rachel had stolen me. Then went Laban into Jacob's tent, and into Leah's tent, and into the two maidservants' tents, but found them not. Then went he out of Leah's tent, and entered into Rachel's tent. And Rachel had taken the images, and put them in the camel's straw, and sat down upon them. And Laban tossed up all the tent, but found them not. Then said she to her father, My lord, be not angry that I cannot rise up before thee, for the custom of women is come upon me. So searched he, but found not those images. And Jacob was wroth, and chode with Laban. Jacob also answered and said to him, What have I trespassed, or what have I offended thee, that thou dost so pursue after me? Thou hast tossed up all my stuff, and what hast thou found of all thy household stuff? Put it here before thy brethren and my brethren, that they may judge betwixt us both. Behold, this 20 year have I been with thee. Thy sheep and thy goats have not been barren, and the rams of thy flock have I not eaten. Whatsoever was torn of beasts, I brought it not unto thee, but made it good myself. Of my hand didst thou require it that was stolen by day or night. I was in such case that by day the heat consumed me, and the frost by night, and my sleep departed from mine eyes. Thus have I been 20 years in thy house, and served thee 14 years for thy 2 daughters, and 6 years for thy sheep. And thou hast changed my reward 10 times. And except the God of my father, the God of Abraham, and the fear of Isaac had been with me, surely thou hadst sent me away now all empty. But God beheld my tribulation and the labor of my hands, and rebuked thee yesternight. And Laban answered and said unto Jacob, These daughters are my daughters, and these children are my children, and these sheep are my sheep, and all that thou seest is mine. And what can I do this day unto these my daughters, or unto their children which they have borne? Now therefore come on, and let us make a league, I and thou, which may be a witness between me and thee. Then took Jacob a stone, and set it upon end. And Jacob said unto his brethren, Gather stones. And they took stones, and made an heap. And they did eat there upon the heap. And Laban called it Iger Sahadutha, but Jacob called it Galeed. Then said Laban, This heap is witness between thee and me this day, therefore it is called Galeed. And Mizpah, for he said, The Lord look between thee and me, when we are departed one from another. If thou shalt vex my daughters, or shalt take other wives beside my daughters, here is no man with us. Behold, God is witness betwixt me and thee. And Laban said moreover to Jacob, Behold this heap, and this stone set up on end, which I have laid betwixt me and thee. This heap be witness, and also this stone set up on end, that I will not come over this heap to thee, and thou shalt not come over this heap, and this stone set up on end, unto me, to do any harm. The God of Abraham, and the God of Nachor, and the God of their father, be judge betwixt us. And Jacob sware by the fear of his father Isaac. Then Jacob did sacrifice upon the mount, and called his brethren to eat bread. And they did eat bread, and tarried all night in the hill. And early in the morning Laban rose up, and kissed his sons and daughters, and blessed them. And Laban, departing, went into his place again.